So I only cried twice. Once was in the morning when I crawled on the bed and I nudged myself between her and the giant stuffed dog that we won years ago at the boardwalk game. And the other was at the end of the day when we hung the mezuzah on her dorm room. By my family's count, twice was unexpectedly low. And now our youngest is off at college. I will admit, after 3 kids and about 18 years of MCPS, Montgomery County Public Schools, I will admit I never learned how to use the school app. You know, the one that lets parents check the assignments and the grades and the attendance, the app that lets parents partner with their students. I just never really wanted to learn the app. And over the years, they were upgraded and changed and countless password changes, but I never had any interest. Instead, I tried to actually talk to my kids. They showed me their assignments in their portal. I was not circumventing them, but we looked together. When is that due? I would ask. What's the plan for getting that done? You went to the movie instead of working on that? Seems like that was a bad decision. You seem to have earned that poor grade. The college had a remarkable number of Zoom sessions for parents. And I don't remember so many for the older kids. Maybe this college is just very responsive and accessible to parent input. I doubt it. Or maybe parent culture has changed. A recurring but subtle message from the university was, your child is an adult now. Talk to them, not us. Do not call professors about assignments or grades. Your child is responsible for returning their own library book, and talk directly to your child about how things are going. There are no parent portal apps anymore, except, of course, to pay the tuition bill or to make a donation to the Booster Club. There are many parenting styles, and I am in no position to judge anyone else. None of my kids were valedictorians, but each of my kids are pretty great people. Last Wednesday was our final dinner. The cars were packed because the next day we were hitting the road to drive a few hours away. The car ride back would certainly seem a lot emptier. So family came over. We all shared stories of our freshman year roommates. Luckily for Sho, she already knew her freshman year roommate. They went to Camp Ramah together and were in the same bunk for a few years. The stories that were shared around the table were funny. Some had led to lifelong friendships, and also one had a story of a quick transfer to a brand new roommate within a few weeks of school starting. There were also stories of roommates being just fine living companions without being close friends, and it was agreed that just fine is absolutely good enough. Or my freshman year roommate, who ended up being a lifelong friend. Last summer, when Josh let us know that he was diagnosed with cancer, 3 of us college friends flew to Singapore, where he lived, to spend a few days with him. He was a nice Jewish boy from Avon, Connecticut, and New Jersey, but he developed his career and adult life in Asia. Most of our time with Josh was spent in the hospital, but the laughs were hearty. The memories filled the room. We were lucky enough that on our last day there, they released him from the hospital to be at home. It was amazing. And 6 weeks later, Josh's wife called to let us know that he had passed. And it all started on that day, freshman year, August of 1988. I don't recall the room number, but it was 5th floor Anderson Hall. Proverbs says, Hanoch lanar al pi darcho. Teach children in the way that they ought to go, they will not swerve from it, even in old age. It is such a good parenting hope that that is true. We hope that we have taught our kids the proper path, the difference between right and wrong, the skills and sensitivities to be a mensch, the ways to succeed, and success looks differently for each person. I wonder about the kids and the families at Penn State this week when the police busted a drug ring based out of 2 fraternity houses, and a dad was arrested for trying to hide evidence. Allegedly, pledges were used to bag the drugs. And I wonder how many people dropped out of the pledge classes over the years because they knew they did not want to be part of that. Or how many went along with everyone else and are now facing criminal charges. I hope we have taught our children enough about the right path so that they will not swerve too far from it. Of course, there will be some slight veering is expected, but so is course correction. Or the words of the Shema itself from Deuteronomy 6, which guide us to teach our children ethical values and commandments. Veshinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam. Impress upon our children, recite to them when you stay at home and when you are on your way, when you lie down and when you go up. It is our job as parents or family members or friends of the children for us to teach the values that we want them to absorb. I had 18 years to do this before college drop-off this week, and I hope I was clear enough. I hope I showed by example enough. I hope they learned from me at my best moments and won't take away me at my lower moments. Rabbi Danya Ruttenberg wrote a parenting book which is popular now, Nurturing the Wow, Finding Spirituality in the Frustration, Boredom, Tears, Poop, Desperation, Wonder, and Radical Amazement of Parenting. Rabbi Megdal referred to it not long ago. It was published a decade ago, but continues to be a good reflection on parenting. In it, Rabbi Ruttenberg writes, becoming a parent changes you on levels you don't necessarily anticipate or even understand. Although those changes take root in your relationship with your own kid, human beings are rarely fully compartmentalized. We are transformed as parents through the work of being boo-boo kissers, lullaby singers, and vomit janitors. And this invariably affects other aspects of our life as we grow more patient, compassion, and boundary-setting disciplinary skills. We might find that those traits manifest in more places than we perhaps thought they would. Many of us, she writes, find that our attitudes about work, our art, our activism, our relationships, our exchange with people we encounter during the course of the day, our dreams and our visions of our lives as a whole have changed radically following the arrival of our children into our lives. She's right. But that transformation does not stop once a child is born. As a parent, you are transformed over and over and over again when or if they stand as a bar mitzvah, when or if they go to college, when or if they get married, when or if you become a grandparent. Your own metamorphosis is repeatedly encountered again and again. Our Parsha gives us some basics too. Some of the rules that we found this week, if you find something that's not yours, try to return it to the owner. It's the basics of being a mensch. Be kind to animals. If you are in charge of something, make an extra effort for the welfare of others. But how not mixing wool and linen in this parsha fits together is something I have no idea what it is. Maybe it was the biblical fashion advice like not wearing white after Labor Day or something like that. So it is her first Shabbat at college. And I believe that she was going to Hillel last night with some friends. I'm looking forward to hearing about it tonight. I'll try to hold myself back and let her call me. I'll try. I told her that last night we would be offering our parental blessings from afar, but she would very much be with us. And she is also where she should be, at school, with her friends, making new friends. I hope that we have shown her the path to be on. And now it's up to her. A parent never stops being a parent. But it's time to let her step forward even more than before. The bumps on the way will be hers now, and I could not be more excited for that. And now, our house is already a little quieter, but my heart could not be more full of joy for the person she is and will become. Shabbat Shalom.